Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today I've sort of really jumped ahead of you all. I got some journals about a week or so ago, and what I've basically been doing is printing off a bunch of full page bleeds and putting them in my journal, and then working over top of that because I wanted a whole different colorization, I guess you could call it. And that's basically what I've been doing, and some I'll cut up into bits and pieces, but just to show you all, I thought I would kind of get away from the paints and just use a bunch of whatever I had, or either the bleeds from Pinterest. And so this one here actually come from my papers that I got. It's you know, like 8x8 paper. So that's this one. It's maps. And but I had kind of got the idea from after you know, on Tara Jacobson, you know, she sends you a bunch of bleeds and stuff you can download. So that's where I got my idea to do that. And in some of the journals, some in here is going to be some of hers. So like she has, I believe, this and some of the Mad Hatter looking stuff. Some still come from magazines, but it just gives you a whole different color-wise on the background. Just, you know, and I'm not good at mark making, which I'm going to show you a little bit of mark making here in a little bit. But just to go through, I think that come from Tara. And I believe this came from Tara's, this, possibly that, and this maybe. This one here was, well, I had, for one day, it was just lack of any kind of design. I started taking a bunch of, excuse me, a bunch of pages and putting down, you know, some, you know, just the Craft Smart paint, just been dripping it on here and putting the pages together. And for you all that has seen my channel in the past, I've done that before. So after I had, you know, put it together, I went around with a marker, and then I painted the the pink in with watercolor to fill the rest of it in. And the fishes, I believe I got off of Pinterest. And these are some of my own down ones that I had. I had downloaded a whole bunch a couple months ago and just never got around to you know, to using them. And this you know, the horses come from, you know, a magazine, and I just started playing around the background. And I believe these come from Tara. I believe these come from Tara. This come from Tara. And some of my others come from What Women Create. I have bad allergies, guys, so just bear with me. I believe this here came from Tara, and this butterfly. I believe this, and this up here. And this is a little bit of everything. And then I went back to cutting out some magazines, but the printer I have is, you know, the Shaquille O'Neal printer, the Epson 520, and I bet I've done probably, I would say, the equivalent of 100 bleeds. 8x10s. I've done a lot of 5x7s. And it just has, it didn't show low. I mean, I have plenty of black. I have plenty of the others, but my magenta got low, and now I can't print it all on it, so I'm waiting on more ink to come. But I'm telling you, it lasts a long time. And if you're printing, you know, the black is still almost full over there. And plus, it came with another bottle. So if you're only printing pages, you should be able to print for 2 years without having to ever buy ink. But, you know, some of you may say, well, you know, the ink is really high, but the way I look at it, everything is high. You can't buy distress markers without it being high. Posca markers are high. What else is high? You know, anything Tim Holtz is high. You know, you just try to get things at a discount. And this is a little bit of everything out of all my books. I believe this here page was Tara's. Some of these was Tara's. But I had just gotten this journal probably 2 weeks ago, and I'm about done. But on the flip side, I've taken out probably a lot of the middle signatures, just the page that you have to clip the threads. I've took a lot out so I wouldn't have to, you know, take, you know, on the front side, I wouldn't have to undo that as I normally do. And really, I don't have a theme. I just started putting down a lot of stuff. I think after, you know, I was looking at a bunch of, let's see, I can't even think for a name right off. Tisha Moore. After I looked at a bunch of Tisha Moore, you know, I just thought, well, you know, I'm going to randomly put a whole bunch of things on a page. And that's kind of the concept that I was kind of going for. And, you know, these two backgrounds are definitely out of my magazines. And a bunch of these are Tara's. And this was, all these women come off the front, I think, Vogue or some type of magazine. So I cut all them out and just blocked it in, and then used my washi tape. Here's a bunch of Tara's, and I think this was one I found on Pinterest. And this one I really haven't done anything to. I've just put a bunch of things in the background, but don't know if I'll add too much more. And this one's really colorful. These medals come from, you know, What Women Create magazine. And these was some more full page bleeds, and the frog and this come off of Pinterest. Okay, so what I started doing, I thought I would try my hand at with the jelly thing again. And, you know, basically I'm just rolling it on there. I'm not trying to make any definite design or anything. And then I go back in with my Tim Holtz stencils and put a little design in them. And I was going to start this book off like a fairy book or fairy-ish book. And I'm just throwing bits and pieces in here as I go. And then, these are all the pages that I've pulled out of the first journal. So this here, I did the background in the blue watercolor, and then I put down some green, but I had used this green, and it didn't, when I put it together, it didn't do too well, so then that's when I had to break it up a little bit with the white, and I just, used this stencil trying to break it up, but I like how it turned out. This is one of my favorite pages. And here's another background with the full bleeds. I just intertwine them. And here's another jelly roll page that I'm trying to start my mark making. You got to start somewhere, I suppose. And I've been just, taking painter's tape, frog tape, and just, doing them that way. And that way I can just, I'll just lay down a bunch of full page bleeds over this, and you won't see that anymore. And I was trying to make this not only a fairy book, but a mushroom book, something to that effect. This was another page where I, dripped on the purple and did it together. This is a jelly roll page, as you can see. And this may have come out of my book, Magazine Dolls, or Art Dolls, or something. I think some of this might have been from Tara's. And some of this was from my What Women Create. There's the metal, the tags, and this over here. Some more mushrooms come out of dolls. You can tell I did the two together, and then after I did it with the pink paint, then I go back with the watercolor. And then I put washi tape all around the edge. This one, I'm not quite through yet. There's a jelly roll page. This one, and I thought I would do a page with you all. Here's some I actually did this morning. Just putting down a bunch of random colors, and then taking my distress crayons. Not yet done this one. I just wanted some deep, rich colors. This one here looks like a hot mess, but like Dina Wakley always says, when you cover some of it up, it don't look too bad. I do like all these color combinations with yellow and green and browns. Okay, so go back over to this first page and see if we can't had to find me some glue. I think this is basically going to be like a pink page. Let's see. I can put something behind here to elevate this up a little. but for the last 2 weeks, I've kind of been painting my kitchen cabinets, and that was an experience to say the least. And I thought I had picked the right color, and I gotta try not to get too far away from what I'm doing here. But anyway, I thought I had picked the right color, and it was supposed to be in kind of a olivey green with the yellow tones, and I thought that's what I had. So I come home and, you know, start painting, and I thought, well, you know, it looks close, and I thought, okay, I'll just keep going. And, you know, when you get the first coat on, it's not really the color that you're thinking of. So, so anyway, I get the cabinets up, and come to find out, you know, I get the cabinets up, get all the handles. Well, we had gotten new handles, so I had to fill all the holes in with the wood putty, you know, sand all the cabinets back down. And once I did that, I put the cabinets on, and come to find out, you know, after I looked at it for a day or two, I thought, this really don't look like the color I thought it was. So I didn't even really think about the swatch till the next day, and I thought, let me pull that swatch back out. So I put it up against it, and no, it was not even close, I don't think. And it was more like a blue green than a yellow green. So so then what I did, I told my husband I was wanting to take the paint back, and they said they would take it back. And so I got another color that was closer, and this was cabinet paint. And so then I had to take all the cabinets back down. I didn't sand them. I just, you know, went ahead and went over it with the other paint. But come to find out, once I got through and put the cabinets back up, then I found out they really weren't that straight. So I had a time with that once I got the handles on and the cabinets back up and everything. And, you know, they were like this oak wood grain. And so once I got them up and the handles back up and everything, I found out the cabinets weren't straight. So I took all day. I bet it took all day to get all the cabinets back on, get all the handles straight. And some of them I had to even putty up the holes again and re-drill holes and re-straighten the cabinets. But I don't know, it's like you couldn't tell how uneven the cabinets were when they were all oak, but now that they're painted, you could really tell that, you know, some were off and crooked or whatever. But so I had to go back and I took every one of them, you know, back down, redid them again. And I just, for the last 2 weeks, I just been exhausted and everything, and trying to deal with that mess. And, you know, it took all day. You had to drill, and then if your holes wasn't straight, then you had to fix the holes. And then, you know, some of them weren't completely straight, so then you had to fudge a hole to make it look right. And it is so frustrating. And all day, you know, on 2 or 3 cabinets, it was such a mess. And I thought, I'll never do that again. And still, after doing that, it's still not the perfect color, but I'd be damned if I'm taking them cabinets back down. I thought that would be, it's just, you know, I took them all down by myself, sanded them by myself, painted them and everything, waited on them to dry. And plus, something else I didn't know, and some of you may not know, that cabinet paint, they say, takes a week to dry, and they're right. And you really have to be patient. You know, I'm used to painting stuff with latex paint, taking 4 to 5 hours to dry, then putting on another coat, but that's not the case. You know, you have to wait a good 24 hours. I would wait a good 24 hours and then put on the second coat, because, you know, even after waiting 2 days, they were still a little bit tacky. So you have to be really patient with cabinet paint. But out of all the videos I've ever watched, I've never heard anyone say it takes 2 weeks for cabinet paint to dry fully. But yeah, it does. But yeah, it's supposed to be, it's got like a little oil base to it, but still, it cleans up good with soap and water, even though it's got a little oil base to it. But I'm glad it does, because now it'd be hard, you know, that you could wipe down grease or anything that may get on them. So, but anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you could, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And as always, see you tomorrow.